Live from Main Street, it's Three Men in a Wheelchair with Scotty Wheels, a.k.a. Garrett Guttenberg, G Money, and Andrew B. the Berman. Today's topic, since we have no guests, we're going to talk about the importance of insurance. And ironically, an insurance broker, his house burned down.
Yep.
I didn't do it. He didn't do it, and he didn't do it either. But it burned down. So today we're going to focus on that. Next time we'll do the Fessler Foundation for some charity giving. But more importantly, we're going to focus on Garrett today. So Garrett, tell us your story. What happened? How did it happen? And what was the importance of making sure you, of all people, had the right insurance?
Yeah, so naturally I wrote myself a good policy. I'm the insurance broker, so, I know the policy to write, but whether or not I thought my house was going to ever burn down, I can promise you I did not think anything would happen to me. Everybody always has that mentality. It's not going to happen to me. I don't want to buy the insurance. It's a waste of money, that kind of thing. Sunday morning, it's like 8:30 in the morning, just had coffee. My wife's upstairs putting Nate, the baby, for a nap.
Nate is your son, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's 4 years old now.
All right.
I think he's my son.
All right. Kind of looks like you.
He looks exactly like him.
It's like I tell my daughter, call me Scott till the blood results come back. So go ahead.
You thought it looks like you too,
Well,
Yeah.
if you're on Maury Povich, look out. All right, so go ahead.
Just a different race, which is a little weird, but
Yeah,
Kid's a little darker, but what are you going to do?
So, so early Sunday morning, notice backyard like going black. I walk towards the back of the house, and I see smoke coming under the molding at the back of the house, and I hear it sizzling, and I know immediately the house is on fire, but there's nothing inside yet. So I yell upstairs, Danielle, get downstairs. She comes down with the baby. We just get out the front door, and the whole back wall opens up at that point. Smoke basically pushes us out the front door. But when I opened the front door, I didn't know that the whole attic roof outside the house is on fire. So you can't even see down the street. It's all black smoke. And because in my, I was like, let me get them out of the house. I'll run to the back. I'll get a hose and I'll put it out.
Holy shit.
Like, I knew where the fire was, but I didn't know how bad it was. So we had to get off the street. So I get them off the block. My parents live about a quarter mile away, so I drive them to my parents' house. I can't get back on the street when I come back because the whole block's shut off already. I have no shoes, no socks. I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's like 30 degrees outside. So I'm just walking down the block, and everybody's staring at me. They're like, "It's his house." Like you can just,
Oh my god!
I'm wearing like my pajamas, like walking down the block. And
So your son Nate, was he crying at this point? Is he?
No, he's like a year old.
Yeah.
He had no clothes on. She was changing him, so she runs out with the naked baby. That's why I was like, I got to get them in the car because it was freezing. So like, I get rid of them. Couldn't find a pair of shoes in my father's house that fit me. I wear a 13, and like my father I think wears like 11s, and my brother. I couldn't find shoes. That's why I came back barefoot. I had no shoes, so I just walking down the block in socks and a t-shirt, and the whole fire department staring at me. The house is already destroyed. Like the whole house is engulfed. They had already put a ladder truck through the roof.
So somebody called the fire department.
I called the fire department. While I'm driving them, I'm like, So I call the fire department. I'm like, house on fire. I'm dropping them off. I'll be back. Nobody's in the house. Just so that nobody was trying to rescue anybody because I knew it was like the house was toast.
I mean, are you panicking? Are you kind of, because you're a pretty cool, kind of even keel kind of guy for the most part?
I was exactly like I am this right now, but I'm thinking about 8,000 things at the same time. I'm like, okay, so I dropped them off. I got the fire department's ripping the house to pieces. I got to get jewelry. I know what it is. I got to tell the fire department to get it. Then I got to file a claim. And then my phone's ringing and nonstop.
I was already thinking about filing claims.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's great.
I do this every day, but I'm like, when I'm staying on my lawn, I'm like,
that's great.
Like, I can't believe it's my house. People call me like, is your house on fire? Adjusters and the restoration guys, all the guys I do business with. I'm like, yeah, it's my house.
And speaking of which, the adjusters that you went through this ordeal taught you to do what? To start your own company? Realizing what the process is?
So after going through all this stuff personally, I just realized that I was way better at it than these public adjusters that we were putting on these claims. I write the policy, my law background, like I know how to read the policy and I know how to make sure that the company's paying what they're supposed to be paying.
Yeah.
I was frustrated throughout my claim process dealing with other people handling my loss because I just saw them messing up like as we're going through the claim. I'm like, no, tell the company X. No. I'm like, you're like, I fought with them and I was like, I just fired. Like, just get off the claim. I'm doing the rest of this. And I took it from a low 6-figure claim to a high 7-figure claim. And I got paid every dollar that we were supposed to get paid. But it wasn't like I could just rebuild the house. Tanner Hempstead came in and said, substantially damaged, this house has to get raised to FEMA compliance. I'm like, wait, so you're telling me my house burned down and I can't even fix it?
Wow.
I have to make a FEMA compliant house? Like, it was just mind-boggling that I couldn't even get working. I was like, let's just get this house back together. I had the contractors ready to go. Tanner Hempstead just put the brakes on the whole project. So that delayed. It took 2 years to knock the house down, rebuild it, and start.
And now it's done.
Yeah, we moved. I've been living there since May. We got a brand new house, but it's now FEMA compliant with the whole flood proofing, and But
so first off, just public adjusting. Talk
Yeah.
a little bit. Explain actually for anyone who's listening to this, watching this. Like talk about the why you should use a public adjuster as opposed to just letting actually my
And
insurance.
what does he do for you?
well, look, all right. Would you go to court without a lawyer?
No.
Okay, so why find an insurance company who hires an adjuster to handle your loss without having your own representation? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're the homeowner. What do you know about fighting insurance claims?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You don't even want to pay a premium, let alone fight insurance claims.
Instead of using somebody the insurance company hires,
Yeah, and that guy's job
is to keep the bill low.
Listen, his job is to make sure there's coverage.
Yeah.
Put an estimate together and get you paid. His job is not to pay you as well as you probably should be paid or want to be paid.
Yeah.
And look, he doesn't work for you. You know? So again, if you're not hiring your own adjuster, you're just doing a disservice to yourself because you don't know the process, you don't know the in and outs, and you're just 100% not going to get paid the same as that public adjuster.
It's almost like buying a house with not using a real estate agent. The seller pays them, you don't. So again, somebody knows they're doing.
Yeah, look, on a homeowner's claim, when you hire a public adjuster, you, the homeowner, do pay the fee to the public adjuster. But I can guarantee you they will make that fee up in the difference. And you don't have to work the claim. It's very stressful when you lost everything, you're displaced, you have nothing. To then have to fight an insurance company, it's a 6 to 12 month process to try to get this.
Yeah,
claim
but they've had
out.
you up in a nice place to stay
Do you know why?
because you have the right insurance.
Because I had a great insurance policy. And the loss of use limit on a homeowner's policy pays so that I can still pay my mortgage and all my bills at the house that had the fire and then go live somewhere else on the insurance company.
That's great.
So they paid for my rental in Long Beach and I still paid the mortgage throughout that whole process. And I had to knock the house down. I couldn't refinance for 2 years because there's no house, but I was still paying the mortgage. It was killing me. I had a high rate because my insurance broker wrote me a mortgage in 2018 with a high interest rate. But obviously the rates went down.
Yeah.
And I was like, every day I'm like, God, can we do it? He's like, dude, you can't refi. You don't have ass. I'm like,
Don't you know how funny that
like,
is?
maybe they won't do a drive-by appraisal.
Here's the ironic.
Like I wanted to get out of the mortgage so bad.
You pay for insurance.
Yeah.
And then if you use it, they charge you more. How much of a scam is that?
That's not really true. There's
You
no
put a claim in, your goes up. You get into an accident.
there's no
car
direct.
accident. Yes, there is direct correlation. If I have an accident,
It's
my
not.
rates go up.
It's not.
I run a red light, my rates go up. So what's the purpose of having insurance? That if you use it,
You just said a couple of things. If it's an at-fault accident and you're running red lights, you're an idiot,
yeah, but if I have
and
a
you
claim-
deserve to get surcharged on your renewal because
if-
you're high risk.
But if I have a claim, my house, a pipe burst.
They don't
and
just
there's a
raise your
claim-
rate. That does not work. That.
Well, it definitely worked in my. Yeah, there's no doubt. My old homeowners insurance. As soon as I had a claim, jack the rate. No doubt.
Listen, they have the right to increase your own renewal, but they can't do it immediately.
No, I'm
and you
saying-
can shop the policy and move it somewhere else.
Still, you get charged, and the claim follows you. It's like the claim.
Claims do follow,
All right, so if like a
100%.
bad fart, it follows you. It lingers everywhere.
but it
So
doesn't
now
mean
if I
it doesn't mean it's going to affect you on a new purchase or on another property. But look, we do run what's called a clue report, and it pulls prior losses. You know.
So let me ask you this, because you've actually seen this happen. I mean, so this is the first time that you've had a major loss like this for yourself personally.
That was the first insurance claim I've ever filed.
But like talk about actually for your clients, like because they're not going to be as even keeled. They're not actually going to know the next steps. Like, so you're thinking actually 4 steps ahead, or as the house is crumbling down and firefighters are going in, you're thinking about actually what contractor am I going to call actually to start moving this. Yeah. So
the most immediate thing that I was thinking, honestly, houses, they're putting the fire out. I couldn't go in yet. The fire marshal has to come. Arson investigation has to come.
Yeah.
With the fire marshal.
Yeah.
Once they clear the scene, they talk to the homeowner, then you can go in the house. So then it was like, let's get whatever we can. At that point, I honestly, there was nothing in that house that was salvageable. Right. We tried to take some things out, but it was just, you can't get the smell out almost, like when that smoke smell.
Yeah. Plus, they break the windows or roof.
No, they broke every window out of that.
Yeah.
Water everywhere.
My house burned down
everywhere.
Water damage.
Same thing. 15, 18 years ago, my house in Valley Stream burned down.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Were
you home?
No, but like good neighbors, State Farm was there. I can tell you this. I built another floor.
Whoa. Can we? They're not paying for this, so let's not put product placement for State Farm yet.
I'm not endorsing them, but like good neighbor, they were there. Thank you, Jake from State Farm, for that Fessler promo. Not the Mahomes promo, but the Fessler promo. But man, they just poked holes in the ceiling, cracked every window.
Yeah, they have to.
Right through the. It was nuts.
So did you use a public adjuster?
Yeah, thank God my friend was. I didn't do insurance back then like I do now, and this was when I was walking, so it was what 18, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And my boy's a public adjuster, but it was all messed up. They boarded up the house.
That was the next step. I was gonna say after you get your shit.
Yeah, board up the house.
The board up company comes.
Yeah. Then they take care of. They take your close out. They close out. That's another bill for the cleaners.
Wow.
Then there's
we didn't take any clothes out of my house.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but whatever you salvageable.
But you're right. On smoke damage claim, a lot of times, Andrew, if it's not wet,
they just take it out.
Dry cleaning company takes it, puts it in a truck, and they clean all your clothes and they bring it back.
Well, they try to. We put a claim in, but then it was then we had to build. Then the Valley Stream building, and the permits, and the variances, and this and that. We looked. My father. I didn't live in the house at that time. My father. We had a double wide trailer in the front of the house for like 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys put a trailer there?
Because the insurance company gave it.
I'm saying you want to go rent the house or something.
Because they wanted to go to my nephews were in school. My brother lived there. So they wanted to stay there. So the double wide had 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It was probably nicer than the house they built. The double wide was no joke. I was ready to move in. But my brother was crying. I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Dude, you know what it's like to lose everything." He was like, "I lost everything. Pictures, on the wall."
You bring up a good point because
you just lose. He's like, "I'm like, yo, what are you crying for?" He's like, "Dude, you don't understand. I lost everything."
Dude, I put in a lot of claims. I've been doing this for a decade, and I've been on fires with clients. And you always say, "Look, everything's gonna be okay."
Yeah, at least you're not hurt.
Yeah, but you know what? Until my house burned down, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, all your personal shit is gone.
You can't put yourself in that position, and you think you know how someone feels.
Yeah,
that's why you don't talk shit until you walk a day in somebody's shoes.
100%, because
don't tell them how to build the house if you never built one.
Honestly, that's why I was like, I'm gonna go into the adjusting business because I know how these people feel.
Yeah,
it's not just like I know how to get them paid. I get them paid, but you're almost like a therapist through the process too. Because
if you know how they
feel,
holding. Yeah, exactly. People feel comfortable. Once you walk, you say, "Look, it happened to me." It only sucks when it happens to you, but yeah.
I give them hope. I show them a picture of my house. I go, "Look, this is what it is. This is what it is now."
Yeah.
And look at me, I'm smiling. I'm still happy.
Listen, you still lost years of memories of stuff and shit, but you know what?
But
stuff. You always say it's stuff, but it's stuff that is sentimental to you. Yeah. That is not. Yeah, it's stuff, but it's not just stuff.
You know what though? But
it's not a teddy bear.
Hold on, you can't even get wrapped up in that because you see in the news every year, this time of year, someone puts a generator in the house, and there's a fire, and you see children die. But
there's also maybe survival of his. If you're putting a generator in your house, maybe we should stop your bloodline.
Yeah,
maybe let's
don't deep fry a turkey in the backyard.
Yeah. Or do actually if you're that dumb to do that, then do that. Let's end your bloodline. Let's end your bloodline. If you're gonna if you're gonna put a generator inside your living room,
I don't agree.
If you accept the risk,
my point was you see fires and all these losses where kids die and everything. You have to put it in perspective. I lost stuff, it doesn't matter.
Listen,
I
those are
You know?
again, those are tragedies in themselves when you lose people and stuff like that.
But
But
you know what? I could have been this close to,
If there
to
were
a tragic situation.
if there-
know.
if
I
you
didn't see what was
but if you
happening.
don't, but if
Well,
you
if it
don't have
happened at night,
kids,
if it happened at
Yeah,
night,
could
It
have happened.
happened, the reality is actually so then you would be dealing with this horrible situation and then get kicked in the nuts by actually a
Yeah.
financial destruction. So besides actually having potentially losing a loved one, which is just like that's just devastating, and then actually have to actually be have to worry about where you're going to live during that time. Be stuck actually in a trailer in your front yard. No offense to the family, but to be actually in that. Listen, but
If they shoot
we have
kids.
my wife and I actually hang out in our trailer actually in our front yard all the time.
that's
So
funny.
yeah.
me, you want to hang out in the same place.
Shit. Fuck. Okay, that would definitely explain actually why the bed was a little warm last
that'll
night.
explain
Yeah.
the marks on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like, why are there tire tracks in the
Exactly. Somebody go four wheeling.
No, Andrew, we got a ramp because I need to get like a Costco delivery into the bed.
Look, hold on, we got to watch Garrett on Maury Povich.
So yes, it's great actually to know actually that at least actually if you go into this horrible thing that at least that you have the right coverage and it would give us an idea from because you see actually what typical people actually have on their policies, like what a typical, because many cases it's just like maybe a little bit more than just the mortgage company requires. How much percentage wise, how much more what do you think actually a properly insured house to be actually covered where actually that worst case scenario is not such a bad case scenario? So like I
think your question is what's the potential cost difference between an okay policy and a great policy?
Exactly.
Is that what you're
saying? Okay, like bare minimum coverage
bank satisfying policy or the policy that I make everybody take.
Yeah, the policy that
I had on my house.
That I probably
you have on your house. And you have on your house.
No, I don't have that today, but that I need to have on my house.
No, listen,
you have it on your house.
Yeah. What I realized that everybody has insurance.
Yeah.
Like everybody has insurance, but is it the right insurance?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to now that I'm licensed with homeowners and I learned from him. Look, insurance companies have their own formulas anyway. Like if you have a 2,000 square foot house, you have X amount of coverage per square foot.
Correct.
Then you could tweak like the endorsements, the personal contents, to make the premium go up or down with the deductibles. But just in general, is it the right insurance? Tell everybody, look, give me your policy. Let me take a look at it. If I can match or beat it, would you rather call Allstate or call me? Period.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
if you could have a claim, would you rather call Allstate or call you?
Yeah. Or call me.
It's the same concept.
Like, I'd rather call you. Good. Sign here. It's pretty much easy.
But to answer his question, you're probably talking like a 10 to 15% difference on rate between the bare bone and getting the policy that makes sense. I'll give you a good example. A lot of brokers write a policy with ACV, actual cash value endorsement, on contents, as opposed to replacement cost. So what they do is, I'll give you an example. This iPhone, let's say it's $1,000 brand new. If it's in my house in a fire and I have an actual cash value endorsement, meaning I don't have replacement on personal property, they're going to depreciate this and say it's $600 now. They're only going to pay you $600.
Yeah.
Multiply that by everything in your house, you're going to lose anywhere from like $50,000 to $100,000 on a fire for $100 savings on a policy. I would never write actual cash value because why?
They depreciate it.
Yeah.
I just handled a loss for a guy with a water claim. Broker wrote him ACV on contents. He just lost $8,000 on. It was only $25,000 claim, like the contents. He just lost $8,000 for $100 savings.
That's like car insurance. People,
Crazy.
they have 50, 100 instead of 300, 500. What you're supposed to have because they don't realize for $150 more a month. If you get a year, if you get into an accident, you're covered. I told my people, I said, look, if you get into an accident, your company's gonna pay you $25,000. I'm like, so for $300 more a year or $400, whatever it is a year, you can have 500, 300, 500, $250,000, whatever the limit is, because you're doing disservice to yourself. Forget everybody else.
Yeah.
So if I hit you, you can sue me for my policy. You ain't gonna be squadouche, but you're not covered.
Yeah.
So
that's like if you get into an accident with someone with no insurance or bad insurance, you have to then to your policy for your own limits, which is that's the SUM coverage. SUM.
Uh.
That's one of the biggest mistakes I see on.
And then if you do that, then they raise your rates, so you get penalized for using your
This
insurance.
guy raised the rate. You know what? Let me just explain one thing. If you pay $2,000 for a homeowner's policy and you have $1 million claim, do you really care if they raise you next year? Like at that point, just like
Well, yeah, because I paid for insurance to avoid like health insurance.
Well,
I pay for a heart attack. You know, health insurance, they check up, yeah, but you pay for it in case something like this happens to you, or you have a heart attack, or something happens. You pay for the insurance. They don't, you know, they raise your rates anyway because they're thieves. But at least you get use out of it.
So did your rates go up?
No.
I wonder why.
It's
It's not what you know; it's who you know.
And this is why you do business with
Exactly.
Garrett.
This is why
You wanna
Dennis
know,
Oil
Scott,
exists.
Want to know why my rate didn't go up? The true answer: I have a 2021 new construction with full fire sprinklers by code. My house is now less of a fire risk than it was before.
And it's raised.
Correct.
Yeah.
So my insurance is actually less because it's less of a risk.
And now your flood insurance
Wow.
is cheap too.
Yeah. So there's a real reason there. Not because
This
I know
show's so
somebody.
informative. I actually learned a few things today. That's
Well,
great.
when
And you know everything. So
When
this
you
is
know
not-
nothing, obviously, we sound like geniuses.
So
One guy thinks I know
Can I ask
everything.
you a
One guy
question?
thinks I know nothing. Yeah. Well,
Wolf of Main Street.
come on, bro. This is how we not highlighting this.
You can see what this is, right?
Wolf of Main Street.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
But-
Scotty Wheels.
Except for the people that are listening to this on Apple Podcasts and not watching us. But
Yeah. All 50 people, bro.
If you just listen to this on a podcast,
And they're probably relatives.
yeah, but not the whole audience, both of them are going to be watching.
Exactly. Maybe we'll have Johnny Bitcoin back for a guest appearance. Is Johnny Bitcoin?
By
is
the
out.
way, are you keeping me? You guys didn't decide, actually.
Well, you didn't post it, so we couldn't get the feedback. So maybe
It's
we
true.
can post this one in like 2 weeks. What's today's date? December 10th?
Yeah.
So she probably post, I don't know what, December 17th. Who knows? As long as Andrew, gets to it, we'll know.
Well, it all depends. I mean, are we changing the show name again?
No,
You know, it's
3 men in a wheelchair. That's it.
doesn't matter how many men are here.
That's it. Don't know how many men
Yeah.
rolling in dough. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. But anyway, so that'll bring us to the conclusion of this one. Next time, we're going over to the Festival Foundation, which is my near and dear charity, so that we have another event and you all could join us via live
There you
or
go.
on podcast. So from G Money, Andrew to B Berman, and Scotty Wheels, and the Wolf of Wall Street, see you next time.